record the rest of this video for YouTube. What did I say? Look, even before Minecraft. Ugh, I'm just too good, bro. Let's see with the Guild Wars one.
Guild Wars 2. Founding the Goshkia Guild in Dark Age of Camelot, Roger Rawl, known as Old Raw online, planned for he and his guildmates to make the leap to Guild Wars 2 when it launched in 2012. Sadly passing away before the game's release, Old Raw's community rallied around him, dead set on having him immortalized in the game somehow. Beginning an unrelenting letter-writing campaign to Guild Wars 2 developers ArenaNet, they continue to lobby the studio by launching a so-called cookie zerg, wherein thousands of treats and baked goods were sent to their offices. Hopefully it was more the heartfelt pleas and stories of Roger's importance that did the trick rather than biscuits, but ArenaNet made good on their request. Not only is there a server called Sanctum of Rawl, but should you venture into the game, there's a good chance you'll meet a historian who tells tale of a tribune known as Rawl Old Raw. The historian's story has a fitting and peaceful end for the guild founder, with the tale concluding, there will never be another like him. Number 7. Minecraft. There's a very good chance that at some point you've at least dabbled in the all-conquering Minecraft by now, with the likelihood being that you've probably jumped into...
I have a feeling that they're gonna mention the guy, the YouTuber who died.
A private server with your friends at least once or twice. One such private server was home to players Gas Bandit and his wife Pauline, but when Pauline passed away in 2013 from ovarian cancer, her grieving widower decided to build a monument to remember her by in the game they spent so many hours playing together. Electing to construct a huge to-scale recreation of her in-game avatar, word quickly spread that he was building it in vanilla survival mode, that meaning all resources he used had to be mined by hand, so friends and other players quickly pitched in to donate the blocks and materials he would need. He built the entire thing alone, however, a labour of love that Gas Bandit himself reports took a couple of months. A minecart track runs the perimeter of the monument with a chamber inside featuring a coffin and a jukebox playing a simple piano track. While the server has since been reset, Gas Bandit has stated that he has a copy of it saved at home. Number 6. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. A somber and personal comfort that video games can offer to loved ones of those who've passed away is their game saves. These allow friends and family to load up a game belonging to the deceased to get a glimpse into what they were up to, or even drive alongside the ghost of a high-speed record in a racing game. Taylor's brother had been doing just that in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Starting up the game and loading Taylor's most recent save, his brother took to Reddit to share what he was doing, explaining that he never moved an inch from the spot he loaded into so he could enjoy the last view Taylor had had in-game before dying in the real world. After being asked exactly where the spot was, he provided the information, and a mod was created by a fellow player that would add a shrine to their game, marking Taylor's final location. Number 5. Star Wars Galaxies. Released in 2003 with the servers shutting down in 2011, Star Wars Galaxies was an MMO set in the Star Wars universe, allowing players to create a custom character and choose from a select number of races and professions to live out their Star Wars dreams. Tragically, in 2008, former lead gameplay designer Jeff Freeman was found dead from an apparent suicide at the age of 39. In the wake of criticism that it took too much time to become a Jedi in Star Wars Galaxies, the developers made unpopular and sweeping changes to the gameplay. But in a cruel twist of fate, a recent post on his personal blog, and as all other staff had gone silent, made Freeman public enemy number 1 for the spurned player base, and he was the subject of targeted online harassment as a result, despite the fact that he likely had very little say in how these changes would be implemented. However, his brother, in a statement to The Escapist, asserted that personal issues and not the ire of players was what resulted in his death. Rocked by the loss of their colleague, the Freeman...
Probably there were personal issues. For sure there were personal issues. You cannot put the whole blame on internet bullying, but internet bullying is a real thing, and it is very problematic, and it can leave an impact on you. Definitely it can leave some type of impact. So you have to be careful what you say, even anonymously, guys, because you don't know if that thing you say could be the last thing you say to someone before they take their life away. So be careful. It's not a joke. It's serious.
Memorial was placed in the game. In the township of Aurelia on Darthamere, a statue of Yanjon can be found, accompanied by the words, "The Freeman, gone but not forgotten. Thank you for all your works of wonder. You will be missed." Number 4. FIFA 16. It's easy to forget that there are actual people behind EA's financial juggernaut FIFA series, as to players uninterested in the franchise, the regularity with which the games are released makes it feel like FIFA has always been here and always will, but such a regularly released title requires an immense amount of work from an awful lot of developers, one of whom was creative director Simon Humber. Passing away after losing his battle with cancer in 2015, Humber's years of service meant a lot to his team and the community at large, so the decision was made to honour him in FIFA 16 by including the stadium of his favourite club. You see, normally in FIFA games, if a club is fairly lowly in its league standings, it won't have its home ground replicated in-game, instead being treated to a generic arena. So EA's decision to include then League 2 side Portsmouth FC's Fratton Park in FIFA 16 was a very big deal. There's even a bunch of flowers placed behind one of the goals, which is a really lovely touch. Number 3. Star Trek Online. Launched in 2010, Star Trek Online is just that, a massively multiplayer online game set in the Star Trek universe. So, when legendary portrayer of Spock, and who for many people is the only Spock, Leonard Nimoy passed away in 2015, fans across the world were devastated. The community of Star Trek fans playing Star Trek Online decided to honour the memory of Nimoy by gathering at a fountain on Spock's homeworld of Vulcan, and when developer Cryptic Studios saw this, they added a statue of the famed Vulcan to the centre of the fountain, along with the words "Live long and prosper." As Spock was keen to reconcile the people of Vulcan and Romulus, this was accompanied by a similar statue on New Romulus, and for a brief while, black banners were hung in a few locations to mark his death. While we imagine he wasn't a player per se, Nimoy's importance to Star Trek's global appeal and following cannot be understated, so a memorial of this kind is absolutely warranted. Number 2. Pokemon Go. Exploding onto the scene in 2016, Pokemon Go was a cultural phenomenon that, not that it needed any help, catapulted Pokemon into the general public consciousness once again, and it's still going strong today. Encouraging people to go outside and walk around, communities of players quickly sprung up, and it attracted people from all walks of life. Age was irrelevant, catching that rare Pidgey-boy
at the start, when it came out,
one
was
such
so
player
amazing.
was Feng Feng 128 from Tainan, Taiwan. Originally known as Fang Fang Auntie, she could frequently be seen riding around town on her mobility scooter, dual-wielding smartphones for optimal Poke catching. Sadly, losing her battle to pancreatic cancer in 2018, the local Pokemon Go community decided to commemorate her contributions in-game by placing dozens of lures across the town's various Pokestops. That way, when players opened the app, it would look like the city was covered in cherry blossom. In addition, the local gyms were all vacated to allow Fang Fang's Team Valor to take over. With the whole event lasting 3 hours, it was a fitting tribute to a much-beloved player. Number 1. Warframe. When it came out that preeminent and outspoken YouTube gaming critic Total Biscuit had passed away last year, it sent shockwaves throughout the industry. The outpouring of love and tributes for John Bain came from all corners of the internet, from fans and supporters of his work, to colleagues and contemporaries, to developers and publishers his work shone a light on. One such developer was Digital Extremes, whose third-person shooter Warframe had received extensive coverage from Bain and seen growth and success as a result. Launching in 2013, the Warframe player base dwindled initially, but as it was featured more and more on Total Biscuit's channel, fortunes were reversed. Tearfully cancelling that evening's planned live stream in the wake of the news, Digital Extreme developers were seen taking part in an existing in-game player-led tribute to Bain, which saw avatars in almost every server travel to the Larunda Social Hub, or Relay as they're known in-game, to kneel in silent reflection. Many players credit Total Biscuit's coverage of the title for getting them into it and making the game what it is today, so it's safe to say that his contributions will not readily be forgotten. And that's our list. Our thoughts are with the friends and families of those featured here, and should you feel personally affected by what you've just watched, there are support lines in the description below, and would encourage you to support relevant charities where applicable. I'm Ben from Triple Jump, and thanks for watching.
There you go, support lines if you are somewhere from these countries. Oh my god! Like, it's such a sad video. We need to go and watch something funny now. Honestly, like, let's watch a funny video. This was too much. It's the reality of life. That's why it's very important for you to take care of yourself and live every day as if it's your last. Because you never know.